VGK has ammo to prevail in double OT in game number 3. The Golden Knights are in the driver's seat now in the opening round series versus Winnipeg.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Tony Cardasco along with Chris Golick. We appreciate you making us your first listen each and every day. Thank you so much. You could find us on Twitter at LockedOnVGK, at TDChrisG, at Tony Dasco. Locked On Golden Knights is where you can find us, your spot on YouTube. Please subscribe there. And we are brought to you today by Gametime, the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. So, Chris, VGK pulls out a double overtime victory on Saturday as they now take a 2-1 series lead. Hey, man, we could see a handshake line coming up later this week. Game number 4 tonight. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but game 4 tonight in Winnipeg. Michael Amadio, let's talk about him. He tallied the game-winning goal from the slot, and that happened in the second extra period. Dylan Samberg still beating himself up a couple days later, a day and a half later, and he of the Jets, of course, turning the puck over. It went off of the skate of Ivan Barbashev, and Amadio just buries the puck in the slot. An unlikely hero in the game that saw VGK blow a 3-goal lead in the third period.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got the win. Very good thing. Possibility for handshakes later this week, either Thursday or Saturday or Thursday and Sunday. Hopefully on Thursday, obviously. That would be a very nice thing, but we have to worry about Monday night's game first before that, tonight's game, that is. So coughing up the 3-goal lead is tough. What bothers me, and you didn't see a lot of people talking about this, Alec Martinez and Pietrangelo, in my opinion, were borderline awful in the game. The 2 goals that they gave up, the first one was just simply a deflection where, where's Martinez? Where's Pietrangelo? Yes, I'm going to be hard on our top defensive pairing, our best defensive pairing, our most experienced defensive pairing. One bad goal, fine. Okay, we can stomach that. That's going to happen. No one's going to be perfect. But the final goal that tied the game, that almost spelled absolute devastation for the Golden Knights, where were they? Especially Pietrangelo. It reminded me of that game. It was the overtime game. Was it the Hurricanes game or something like that, where he was just, we were down 4-on-3 in the overtime. I can't remember for the life of me who we were playing that game. And yeah, make sure you're in the right place on the frame. Can't remember for the life of me who it was, but again, Pietrangelo was just in this weird spot out there. And that is something that needs to be fixed. Yes, we'll start on a negative note. On the high note, it's 2-1 VGK. Winnipeg is in a very tough spot. That loss would have ended up hurting Winnipeg even more than I think it would hurt VGK, knowing what the health of the Winnipeg Jets are going forward.
Yeah, so how in the world, I have to agree with you, did VGK let up that game-tying goal by Lowry with 21 seconds remaining?
Nothing he could do.
Not just one Jet in front of the net. There were 2. There were 2 Jets right there. What did you think of the performance? Go ahead.
No, it was what's the term for all the where you park the planes in front? A hangar.
Passengers?
It was a hangar. It was a full hangar in front of good old Larry Brossoit, and all those goals were kind of like that, right? Like he had a fine game, but just you got to be better in those circumstances. You have to be better.
Okay, I want to talk about the performance of the Ammo Man, Amadio. He has played on 5 or 6 different lines. And when you look at him and you look at Larry Brossoit, a couple of players that at one time this season were on waivers. They were on waivers, these guys, right?
true misfits, right? True misfits, that's
Wow.
what the VGK seems to be all about. And this is no different, right? That's just what makes the story of the Vegas Golden Knights and what GM Kelly McCrimmon is doing to keep this team where it is. And, you look at where things were and where we are now and the composition of the team, you cannot go this far into every show that we do without crediting him for what he has done and the players that they have mined, if you will. You go back to a Chandler Stevenson, you look at the goalie situation, Barbashev paying off big dividends down the stretch, and obviously come playoffs and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, the Misfit story continues, guys. The Misfit story continues, and I love it.
Where's the Booger Man been? How come he's not getting any playing time? And Dorofeyev.
Well, Dorofeyev, where are you going to – the only way Dorofeyev comes in the lineup is if Kolesar comes out and they drop Amadio down, to that line.
And Carrier. Where's Carrier?
Carrier's been skating. We'll see if he we'll see when the non-contact jersey comes off. I believe he's still in the non-contact jersey. So, hopefully, I mean, Cassidy did say there is a potential for later in this series, being the first series, that we could see Carrier. So the bigger question is, if Carrier comes back, what do you do? Is it Howden? Is it Kolesar? Is it still Amadio? Like, any one of those three can get bumped when Carrier comes back. And, that'll maybe be another topic for another time. In my head, I'm trying to think who, because Howden did a good job playing up. Obviously, Amadio got the big goal. I don't know really how much else he did, but he got the big goal, right? He got the goal.
They moved him up to line one, for starters,
that's the thing.
Which was a surprise. Everyone responds. I mean, Cassidy, again, to that point, he just keeps pushing the right buttons consistently.
And Kolesar is a GIF now. Kolesar is now a meme. He's a GIF. He's from that stare down. Like, that was just phenomenal. And, so it's all working right now. And it's hopefully going to continue to work as we can hopefully step on the throats of the Winnipeg Jets tonight.
Just like Kolesar cannot shoot the puck straight, he couldn't even look at his friends straight because they were up a couple of more rows and he's staring down the people in front of them.
Yeah, okay. But that guy, I guess he's like, a wine something?
They're trying to get free wine. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so, and Cole's already made the comment. He's like, well, maybe it helped him a little bit or something. And so we'll see. I mean, it's just these storylines are so much fun. And I don't want to go too much farther without just crediting the Golden Knights and the Dollar Loan Center for the party they put on for Saturday's watch party. So what they did was it was open seating. You can go anywhere you want in the arena, on the lower bowl at least. There's not much of an upper bowl, but anywhere on the lower bowl. All the concessions were open, and they're pricey, but you expect that going there. The field for the football team was open. So what that meant was the kids can go and run around. They had the scoreboard lower, so you can be actually field level with a good view of the scoreboard without cramming your neck. We were actually sitting first row in the end zone, if you will. And it was a very comfortable view, just, having your head up, 10 degrees or something like that. So fun party. Chance was there. The Golden Knight was there. Bruce was doing his thing on the PA for everybody. They showed like the intro and stuff like that. They did the nighttime announcement and everything. So, if you're unable to hit a Golden Knights game for whatever reason, financially is a big one for a lot of people, obviously, with how much that they charge. This is a good opportunity to get a little taste of the VGK game day experience when they do this at the Dollar Loan Center. Now, tonight's watch party is actually going to be at Circa at Stadium Swim. Free entry, but you have to wear something VGK, and it's 21 and over as well. So keep that in mind if you are thinking about it.
Did they finally once and for all put an end to that stinking town crier? That guy, is he gone?
I think he's on leave right now. I think he's
on leave.
I think he's at the golf course with the rest of the Silver Knights, or maybe, who knows, maybe he's with Manny Vivros in the unemployment line. I don't know.
Ouch. Jack Eichel, 2 power play goals. And I had the radio going, and I was going to the fight. I was back and forth. I was watching it in a book. I was watching it at home on TV because it was such a long game.
Dasko on tour.
That's right. So Eichel, 2 power play goals. He had 2 power play goals the entire season. He gets a couple, and that's the one way to fix the power play. Eichel, 7 shots on goal. And Chris, he's been firing bullets there from the left circle. I mean, he's just, his timing is down. Everything's starting to happen. He's playing on both ends of the ice like we expected him to.
So let's talk about some boxes that needed to be checked just simply from the eye and what Cassidy has wanted. We'll start with the power play. Okay, 2 power play goals. We'll take it. We will take 2 power play goals. I don't care how they go in or what happens. 2 power play goals, check. Getting inside, check. Playing a physical game. They necessarily weren't the most physical of the teams out there, but they hung out. They were not getting beat up, although there were some nasty hits in that game. I was concerned with Mark Stone, that little knee on knee hit. That was just
that dirty?
Terrible hits.
Was that dirty?
That was
it
dirty.
Was by Dubois.
It was dirty. You almost wonder if that's the type of thing the NHL looks at, even that dirty. But, we got the call, so that's what's important. Unfortunately, March is so. The refs did miss this one. He got blatantly blindsided in front of the net. In front of
the bench, right?
the bench on the line change. Yeah, the trailing official was just sleeping on that one, because that's obviously the responsibility of that official to watch that stuff. And it's unfortunate, but it happened. And March, he was able to finish the game. Cassidy just did mention on Sunday that there doesn't seem to be any lingering effects from the game. The team should be fully healthy, minus Carrier, of course, going to tonight's game. So that's certainly a good thing. I was concerned if there was going to be any news coming out. And listen, this is gamesmanship as well. We'll see if everything is fine once they do their skate tomorrow, and once they dress tomorrow night or Monday night as well.
Let's talk about Larry Brossoit. I thought he gave up a couple of pretty bad goals there. The Niederreiter goal, I didn't think was very good. Scheifele scored. And then, of course, we saw at the end, which you blame on the defenseman, the final goal that sent it to OT.
Ooh, Oilers we're recording Sunday night, folks. Oilers just tied the game late. So my concerns about Brossoit, I mentioned this on Friday. He looks slow at times out there. He has a little bit of that Robin Leonard, just kind of, just waiting, and listen, this isn't necessarily a knock on him either. He is a positional goaltender. He is not quick left to right and right to left like Jonathan Quick. Even Aiden Hill might even be a little bit quicker, at least right now, but Brossoit is better at playing the position type game, where he's not going to be as out of control like a Marc-Andre Fleury, where he makes many dazzling saves, but they also look tougher than they actually are because of just the position that he plays. So, it's a concern watching him. There's times when he's on the right side, the puck's on the left, just kind of slow to react, but he's getting the job done also. We're not going to criticize the guy too deeply without complimenting the job that he's done. You just wonder if it's coming, hopefully not anytime soon, but if that, 4-goal period is coming at some point where he just doesn't look the part. And then in comes Aiden Hill, and who knows what happens from there.
He's been the backup the last 2 games, so we know that A. Hill is definitely on the road with VGK. And it's a big, big game coming up on Monday night, and then they'll be back here on Thursday up against the Draft. Jeez Louise, at 7 o'clock Thursday night. Coming up next.
NFL Draft Thursday?
Yes. Coming up next for the Jets, right? The loss of Josh Morrisey. And how will this be affecting the Jets? How will they compensate coming up in Game 4? Very big loss for Winnipeg. Return with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Buying tickets to your favorite events should not be stressful, and you can purchase tickets on the Gametime app coming up on Thursday night when the VGK return home. Good little plug in there for the VGK and Gametime. It's the fast and the easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. And they've got all sorts of deals, last-minute tickets, and their best price guarantee. That's right. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you will have. And the last time VGK was home, found some really good individual tickets and pairs for like $75, $76 a piece, which is a really good deal for playoff hockey. So check out the Gametime app. Download it, flash deals, last-minute tickets. It's easy to find and buy tickets wherever you might be. And the Gametime guarantee means that you will always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Gametime will credit you 110% of the distance. So buy tickets in just a matter of seconds. They come direct to your phone, directly to the app, and snag the tickets without the stress. Download the Gametime app today. You can create an account. Use the code LOCKEDONNHL. That's LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. So those tickets suddenly become in the $55 range. Get with it. Here's a little hack for you, right? Okay. Again, terms apply. and create the account. Redeem the code LOCKDOWNNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets, lower price guaranteed. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. You like my pitch there, huh? Pretty good. Yeah,
Lovely.
I got it going
Lovely.
today. So Josh Morrisey, who led the team for Winnipeg, this season had, we think, 76 points, I think it was. So he skated on Saturday just a couple of shifts, Chris, and then he sustained a lower body injury on, I guess it was a hit from Zach Whitecloud in the game.
Looked like he was trying to deliver the hit and lost his balance or something.
Wow. And so it's a devastating loss because he's out now for the entire series. And who knows if Winnipeg can rally back. He'll be out perhaps for the playoffs. Sounded really bad. Rick Bowness on Sunday saying that Morrissey was pretty bummed, but they played only 5 defensemen in the game the rest of the way. Neil Pionk, he played over 40 minutes of hockey. So how will they compensate? And Bowness on Sunday said they might go with 11-7. They might have 7 defensemen. Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of just calculating that in my head if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I mean, it's an interesting idea. It's an idea, yeah. I mean, and some teams have done that. I think DeBoer did that a little more with the Stars too. At Edmonton, I mean,
and
yeah,
Edmonton's been doing that. Yeah,
they're going to triple shift. They don't need who needs a line 4 when you got McDavid and Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins and Evander Kane and all that. So, how do you replace that? Adding 2 defensemen to replace 1 isn't, the answer. It's basically trying to take advantage of some matchups and things like that. This was Winnipeg's chance, right? This was their chance. If they steal this game, they're in the spot where they just have to go play 500 hockey without Morrissey to, have a chance to eliminate the Golden Knights. Now you have to win 3 of the next 4 without basically your leader, right? At least your defensive leader. They still got Scheifele and a lot of our players up on the front, Blake Wheeler and such, who can do a very good job. But losing, we lose Pietrangelo, it can spell disaster, right? And it's kind of the same type of situation with even a little more potency on the offensive side. So there's no way to easily replace, one of the top, Norris candidates out there behind someone like Erik Karlsson. But they're going to have to do their best to find a way, and they're going to need to come out hot on game 4. I was really concerned that Winnipeg was going to take it to the VGK early, and VGK silenced that building so fast. Unfortunately, Winnipeg got one late, I believe, in the first, just to put a little bit of a blemish on it. But, it was all exciting after the second period, and then whoops, oopsies.
Yeah. For sure. A great comeback. You have to hand it to Winnipeg for coming back in that game.
Absolutely.
When we all thought they were dead in the water. And on Sunday, the Jets did bring up another defenseman. That was they actually brought up a forward from their farm team from Kitchener. I think something. I just saw transactions and I just made
I saw that too on Cap Friendly. I don't think it was anything that's going to factor for the game, but it could. I don't know.
Who knows? Vince Sapienza from Channel 5 reported on Sunday that, again, it was an optional skate. The only players out there were Cotter. Who's that? Welcome back, Cotter. Where's he been?
The scratches were out there. The
Booger Man, Hutton, Pahal, Hill, and Quick is on this road trip too. So that's what stood out to me. So you have 3 goaltenders on this roadie, and we're still going to stick with Larry Brossoit. Yeah?
Oh, God, yeah. There's no reason that he should be pulled right now. No reason whatsoever. It's his net still until he gives it up, and he didn't do anything. I mean, we're a couple of those goals, fit in the, we'd like to have one back category. Fine, if we want to make that argument. But he kept the team in it with a lot of great saves, too. And, unfortunately, the defense did let him down. And maybe off script a little bit here. There's a lot going on right now about Winnipeg booing when a few VGK fans shouted "night" during the national anthem. So VGK fans on Thursday night, there's going to be a game in Vegas, obviously, and they all chant.
Don't do it.
True North.
Do it. Don't
boo. Don't boo them. Let them chant. Don't boo them though when they do it. VGK fans, if you're going to moan about, about getting booed when you do night in their arena, when they come to our arena, it's going to be a heck of a lot louder too. There'll be more Winnipeg fans down here than VGK fans up there. So when they do their chants, if you guys start booing them, you're just as bad as they are. So just want to put that out there.
Okay. I just want to get back to some of the other storylines from the Winnipeg side heading into game number 4. The defensemen obviously have been the strength, I think, of this Winnipeg team, especially down the stretch. And so, yes, that is a big loss. Sandberg, Bonus said that he called him up on Saturday night, and just because he's a young guy. And as soon as the goal went in, he just was holding his head. He was
Saw
so
that.
bummed out. Did you see
Another
that?
player went and like tried to help him out right away, but it's
Yeah,
what are you
they
gonna do
tried
at
to
that point?
console him, but a young man, and then he's got to come back and play a better game himself, and that just happens.
It's in his
I
head.
don't understand, but I still cannot understand trying to clear the puck, and they put it in the middle of the ice, like right near the goaltender, consistently around the NHL. I've seen this throughout the playoffs, and I really don't understand that. You just clear it out, get it up against the wall.
No, we've
Use
seen
the
it a few
sidewalls,
times, Tony,
use
and
the
we've seen it where
boards.
they make that lazy pass circle to
So
circle, and
lazy.
it goes a little close to the goalie. And
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Why?
And listen, in that moment though, you had played 60, 80, 90 minutes of hockey. At some point, your head isn't going to be where it needs to be, and mistakes will happen, fatigue will set in, and they're still human professional athletes. In this case, human professional fatigued athletes. So credit our grinders for getting down there and making an opportunity. And Amadio for a quick release. Hellebuck wasn't even set for that puck. If you watch Hellebuck, he's just kind of watching over his shoulder, and then all of a sudden, boom, here it is. And he's in his stance right away. And, Amadio just beat him to it. So, listen, Winnipeg, they're going to come back with some energy. The arena is going to be just as rocking or even more rocking than it was on Saturday. They're going to be ready for us. And the same things do apply. VGK needs to come out from the gates. And if they can get a goal in the first 5 minutes and silence that crowd again, that would be huge. And obviously, if there's ever a spot for VGK just to, open a can, so to speak, this is the game. Worth noting, we've hit Hellebuck now for 10 goals in 2 games. That's pretty, that's something right there too, guys. That's something
that's
very
substantial.
important to note.
Yeah, as VGK got out of the scoring funk there after the first period in game number 2 and started to play much better hockey as we've seen. And from Bonus, his perspective, again, because we like to talk about 2 teams, we see so much weighted or tilted, let's say tilted coverage here locally that they don't even mention who VGK is playing or things going on within the opponent's locker room. But Bonus on Sunday said that he felt that his team, they allowed too many unnecessary shots and chances for the VGK, particularly on the rush. And we did see some in-game adjustments by Bonus, and he said they're going to start out with a lot of those adjustments here in game number 4. It's pretty interesting that, that's something that he mentioned. So again, I think they're going to try to clog the neutral zone, perhaps even more, Chris. And then Bonus did say they have not been very good on 6-on-4, 6-on-5, on 6-on-5 in particular. He said this season, his team has given up 17 empty netters. He thinks that's the most in the NHL, but they did deliver.
Make it 18 tomorrow night.
Yeah, that Lowry was phenomenal there at the end, and being able to score the goal, and just the way they moved the puck around, and VGK just looked a little sluggish at that point, regardless of what they say. Do you think we'll see another tone setter? Kolesar comes out, and you like the timing of that fight early in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Winnipeg is a tough place. And I keep saying this, it's a broken record, but you get out there and it's going to get their fans going, but it's going to get VGK engaged, right? Kolesar said after the game, he didn't like something that had happened. I don't know if it was a carryover from the other game, or I don't recall if there was a hit or something early on in this one, but Kolesar said, okay, let's dance, let's go. And Kolesar got some good punches in there. Like, it definitely was not a Kolesar flop, if you will. I'm sure there's a better terminology we can use, but Kolesar definitely did a good job. He had his helmet to deal with, and he even joked. He said he threw a punch and hit himself in the head with the helmet. So that's at the moment he realized what was happening. So, listen, and Kolesar knows the situation. He knows Will Carrier is breathing down the back of his neck, possibly for a spot in the lineup. So Kolesar is going to do wherever he can. Gets the fight, gets the goal. Wish we could have had the assist for the old Gordie Howe hat trick, but Monday's a new game, right?
Coming up next, we will have our locks of the night and our predictions for game number 4. It's the VGK and the Jets in Winnipeg. We'll return with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick in Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen each and every day. You could find us on Twitter at Locked On VGK, at Tony Dasco, at TD Chris G, and definitely keep the conversation going. And on Sunday, I did post the new Petro home. Like, they had some photos there on Twitter. Yeah, Petro's got a new house in Summerlin, man. And we had the photos there, dude.
Okay,
No,
that's huge. TMZ.
Yeah, you didn't see it. No, it's coming. I was actually scrapped. Okay, I do have a TMZ story real fast here. Morgan Wallen, right? That's his name, the country singer. I was supposed to talk about him. It was a late story on Friday, and I got cut, man. So they go, Monday, we'll give you the prime story to have a reaction on. So look for that wherever you get TMZ, because a lot of people watch it because obviously they're not working right now. So
what's the prime story?
I don't know, whatever it is, the story of the day, the story du jour. It hasn't happened yet.
And you're the best person they can find for the reaction.
Without a doubt. Come on, man. So Petro Petrangelo and his wife, Jane, just dropped $5.25 million. Are you kidding me? This is news. This is news.
Jump change.
So, in any event, they bought a house in Summerlin. Congratulations. Pool party for all of us. Okay.
Let's go.
Maybe they're going to have, you know what? He's out of town. Maybe the missus will have a nice viewing party for us, guys.
There we go.
Okay.
Make a call, Tony. Make a call.
So we've got the big game 4. Could be the game that VGK turns the corner. We both had the Golden Knights in 6 games. Comes down to prediction time here. Hey, VGK, overtime is so scary. It's just frightening because in the overtime period, Dubois, right, he hit the post, right? I think in overtime. VGK, in that first overtime period, they held the Jets to without a shot for 15 minutes. Pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And then
you don't feel that because just of all the nerves and stuff while you're watching it, you don't feel that.
Just up and down the ice. So what are your predictions? I'll let you go first.
I'm sticking Eichel and Stone until someone tells me otherwise. I'm riding the chalk train until proven otherwise. So Eichel, Stone, and I think VGK is in a spot to really take advantage right now. Winnipeg's beat up. Their spirit is absolutely damaged after that game as far as the result. You climb the hill, you don't get all the way there. And then, of course, with the injury to Morrisey. So I really think VGK didn't have their best game either. They had a good start. They had a good 40 and a bad 20. So Cassidy is going to be all over these guys for a 60-minute effort. So I really think VGK is in the heads of the Jets, and 4-1 VGK, not a stressful game at all.
I'm going to say 4-2 VGK, and I'm going to say an empty net goal late. It'll be the 18th empty netter of the season that the Jets give up. They'll go 11-7. It's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to that configuration and what they do to try to rough it up themselves.
It's going to be more fatigue on the forwards. And the defenseman, he's going to stick with the 5 and rotate there. They're going to get tired. It's a tough task, and credit them if they can come back, but this is going to be very tough on the Jets. Very tough.
I'm going to go with Barbashev and Kessel in the game. Well, Phil's just looking a little sluggish. Is that a word? Not sluggish.
He's sluggish. Had good opportunities in each of the games, though. He's had at least one spot where he gets alone with the goalie.
Right.
So he's not finishing right now. He's got to finish.
No.
The thrill has to finish.
Yeah, Phil the thrill. Just one other note.
He could be the odd man out, Tony, when Carrier comes back.
Will that count against his Ironman record? Regular season games, all that?
I don't know.
Okay, so Locked On Sharks. This is your opportunity. We don't have to wait until WTF What the Friday. Happy 4 and 5 minutes to all who celebrate. Reaction? Do you have any reaction on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's cool. It's fun, whatever. And I will start by saying, before I start ripping into them, the game wasn't on the refs at all. It was on Gallant for not being able to manage and control the situation, all things aside. it was on Gallant for not being able to put away a 3-1 series lead. So let's start there. As far as the call, I don't care about the call. The call was made, and VGK couldn't overcome it. So be it. Well, the San Jose Sharks, I think I responded. I said the Sharks can go back to praying for Bedard now because there's absolutely no other relevance to that team unless they are able to pull that off. And otherwise, they're going to take the Cubs approach. They're going to hold on to this 4-goal comeback for the next 100 or so years until they do something that makes them relevant, because it's probably going to be that long, sometime in about, I don't know, the year 2112 when the Sharks are relevant again as far as being a competitive franchise.
Okay, and for Winnipeg, we might see, because he's been skating
Shucks,
too,
idiots.
the return of Nikolai Ehlers. He's been on the ice.
Be a boost.
Yeah, he was skating on Sunday, and they said they'll see how he reacts on Monday, and he could be in the lineup for the Winnipeg Jets, and they definitely could use him. And just one other tweet that I had on Sunday, have to mention this on the way out. I said that before, didn't I? On the way out. Okay, so I'm watching the ESPN. I'm watching my Knickerbockers win, of course, on ESPN on Sunday. Chris, these stats are just amazing. The number of NBA players who have played in all 82 games this season in the NBA, 10, just 10 players because of load management and whatever. Could you imagine if you go and buy tickets to go watch your favorite team or your favorite opponent and LeBron doesn't play and all the named superstars are out of the lineup? Just 10 players played every single stinking game in the NBA this season. In the NHL, the number of players that played in all 82 games, 116. 116. For VGK, so it was Kessel, Carlson. Is that about it? Because I'm just off the top of my head. I'm trying to think if there was anyone else.
I'm trying to think of anyone on the defensive side, and I don't think so.
And Petro had that issue.
Kolasar but he was virtuous scratches the games he missed. Howden was in and out of the lineup.
Out with the family emergency, remember?
Yeah, Petro, of course. Stone, obviously, we know what happened there. Chandler Stevenson?
I think he missed. Yeah, he was out earlier this season too.
He's probably the next closest one I can think of right now as far as someone that might have had a shot. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot more pride in hockey. Call it what it is. The players don't make as much. Also, maybe that plays in. Maybe it's a little more in their heads. And it's not shame on the players. It's shame on the NBA for allowing this to happen. And I know they have stuff in place now, like where the Dallas Stars, right? The Dallas Mavericks, they just got fined or something for something involving load management or tanking.
No, they tanked it. They tanked it on the final day so they could move up in the draft order. They tanked it, and they only got hit with a $500,000 fine.
It's a good deal.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'll pay $500,000 for Bedard.
Right. We don't want to go much further because then we'll be into overtime, like most of these NHL games. We thank everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you listening and watching us wherever you might be. My, oh my, thank you so much. Our numbers are growing like crazy. And we appreciate you downloading the podcast wherever you get your podcast and making us your first listen. And of course, your comments and viewing. And please subscribe to Locked On Golden Knights on the YouTube channel. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. We'll see you again tomorrow. We'll have a recap of game number 4 right here on Locked On Golden Knights.